So short little update on the Victory Garden. Yesterday was a cleanup day. So most everything, as I showed you before, after the frost and the hailstorm, pretty much killed off the garden. So there's a lot of things that were uprooted out of the beds and off of the trellises. I'm still leaving the tomatoes plants, thinking they're gonna come back, but that one looks pretty bad, and so does that one. And it has been cold recently, so I don't, it's wishful thinking more than any hope. So these beds are done, and then I did the craziest thing. Oh, there's a few little peppers and a couple tiny birdhouse gourds, which I'm really disappointed in. Everybody's all raving about Baker Creek heirloom seeds. I have not had success with them. It's almost as if like the ones I get from Burpee or maybe not even that. I think it's Ferris Morris and Walmart. The Walmart seeds, I did really well. And I'm not putting them down. I might have done something wrong. It's only a few things like the gourds and the Cherokee beads, even the loofah. They all kind of disappointed me. So, but I got more seeds for next spring, just to try different stuff. And so meanwhile, I don't want to bash the company. A lot of people love Baker Creek. I might have just done something wrong or different, or isn't meant for my area as well. So we'll see. I'm going to try different brands next year. Hopefully there are different brands of seeds available. But I did a crazy thing. I kept seeing bedding for chickens using pine shavings, and I went and got these from our local feed store, pine shavings, and instead of using hay, I don't like to use straw. I don't know where our feed store gets their products from, but or their sources or whatever. Their hay sometimes is like really long, like a foot long strands, and sometimes it's almost like dust, or it's like paper shredding, little tiny pieces. And I was disappointed in straw. I didn't like it. And then years ago, I discovered that the Bermuda grass was really good bedding for my chickens. But I kept seeing the pine shavings, and I used to use pine shavings, and they were good size. I don't remember why I switched to straw and then to hay. I know the hay, and the hay works just fine. So I thought the baby chicks needed a good transition because they're on pine shavings in their brooder. They need to go into the bigger coop with the older hens. And so I thought, okay, I'll use pine shavings because that's what they are used to. So I bought these pine shavings, and I'm showing them to you outside for another reason. I want to make sure the camera's on. It's small, and what happens is with my little frizzles, my tiny little bantams, it gets caught in their feathers. The bigger hens have longer legs and are not in it, but the feather-footed chickens, oh, it's horrible. And then I go in and I'm sliding on the floor with the shavings, and then it's going into my boots, and it's covering my shoe, and I just hated it. And I feel terrible being wasteful, but then I thought, wait a minute, it doesn't have to be totally wasteful. So that was what was the prompting of cleaning out the garden, is to take the shavings out of the chicken coop, replace it with hay, and then I go, oh, let me bring it up here. I'll make it mulch for right now, and then later on turn it in, and it'll just help the soil. So it's not 100% wasted. And Atticus is so sweet. He said, "Mom, it was an experiment. It was like a homeschool project, and you discovered it didn't work." And I wish I could just be that way, but I'm a lot harder on myself. So the garden just looks barren and getting ready for winter. I have a few flowers, and then I have. It was really hard to get the pole beans off the poles. And then I left these tomatoes because there's still some green ones on, and I have been having salads with these little tiny cherry tomatoes. I just don't have the heart yet to pull them out. They were so good to me. And then there's some kale that was left over, and I took apart my little low tunnel that I had. And I got ourselves a nice basket of carrots. So I mean, the garden is just fine for one or two people, and just really to be able to have the opportunity to taste fresh food is the gist of it. But this is what it looks like now. And that's it. God bless. Oh, and the lone survivor of said hail and frost, because look at the neighbors. I bless this lone survivor because it still may provide me with one last tomato sandwich of 2020. I've endured. How long can one endure? Right?